Yo, what's going on, gang? What's
Yo,
going
what's
on?
poppin'?
It's good, Jack.
Yo.
What's good? What's good? What's good? So we're gonna go over the week ahead coming up, going over the new quarter shift coming plus the weekly fractals. So stay tuned, guys. All right, Jack. What you see on the ETH? Further, let's go over ETH first.
For ETH, let me whip
Yeah,
it out really quick. Let me whip the ETH chart out.
yeah. We can start from the monthly, going over how we're about to close the month today.
Just start from this monthly. Okay, we'll start from the
Yeah,
smaller monthly fractal. One sec.
yeah. We'll
Wait,
start from the monthly fractal here.
let me move this all out real quick. Modify this. All right. Okay, so looking at the monthly, we've basically done a full retrace back to the open.
Yep.
Um, almost like an arc, right? So we're ending the month right back at the open, which is making the larger monthly candle. It's going to be a very interesting close if we're able to close this bullish, right, with a large wick heading upwards, right? Because if we're looking at it right now, the monthly candle, the current monthly candle on ETH that's about to close here in 23 hours, currently has a wick extending upwards that is going about 18% to the upside, right? So the probabilities that we don't drop another 3% in the 24 hours and close it bullish are starting to get higher and higher as we look at this, right? So one thing that I would want to look for, right, automatically that my brain goes to is like, okay, well, maybe we could get a wick fill long. And that
Mm,
probably is a possibility, right?
mm,
Um, the one thing that, we would want to look for if we were to get that wick fill long would be somewhere of, an open low, maybe into, let's say, the yearly POC or a node below that. So I'm looking even just at like the historic ETH chart from the beginning of time on the monthly time frame, right? Just like the mega chart, right? And we do have a node cutoff sitting around 1795, maybe 1800, that sweet spot, right?
mm,
So one scenario could be, okay, if we get this open low into this low volume node, right? That could be a possible long opportunity where we would want to look at, right? But
mhm.
that is just kind of my view for the current month. But Jay can pop in and say what's up.
Yeah, so as homie Jack said here, right? You guys can see what have we currently done. So what is the monthly candle telling us right here? It literally tells us that we have yapped up all the way 18%, right? We have just cruised up throughout throughout the month, back and forth, back and forth. And again, I'll zoom in a second and show you guys what I mean. But overall, this is what? Absorption, right? There was intent, but there's no result. After simply understanding, what happened within this whole entire month, right? Like Jack said, we opened, did a slight low, then we pumped, right? And then it wasn't just a straight pump. It looks like it, just staring at the monthly, but if we dig in, you guys can see it was multiple moves going up, down, as we guys can see. If we start to go to the daily, you guys can see it's structured of up, down, up, down, up. And then that was the top wick, and then now we sucked up the whole monthly candle back down now, right? And then this is where we're about to close the month. Does that make sense? So now that's how you kind of really understand what happened inside of that monthly candle, right? Not just, oh yeah, we went up and we came down, but kind of really understand the structure inside of that.
Right? Yeah. Um, so with the close, with how everything is kind of shifting down, um, honestly, I mean, let's just this wick is good because if we do get that open low earlier, right? Maybe and this is kind of a longer term thing, and I'll go over kind of the monthly thing since we are doing the larger shift right now. But if we do get that open low, right, maybe into, I would want to say, maybe a little below 1800, right? Because if you look at the historic ETH chart, right, and we could even attach a photo in this if we wanted to. I'll send one after this. You see this very aggressive node cutoff, this very aggressive gap. So if we do end this month open low, start off very gross, and we come into that gap, that is when I would probably be willing to put up, a few chips for, maybe a 25% wick fill if we don't, open high first, right? So it's only right if we open low and we don't pop up, 10, 5, 10% off the rip, maybe in the first week or two, right? So that's just kind of what I'm looking at now. But again, just all historic things, man. Um, ETH is still crawling its way down to that yearly POC sitting around 1627. So, the past few weeks, man, like I'm playing the short side I think is still in, but we
Yeah, it
will,
was it was the best thing to play the short side this past couple weeks, right?
yeah,
Ever since we made that week 3 fractal high,
yep,
like we
yep,
shared with you guys, and we shared all this with you guys each week since then. So now coming into this new week, right? We just started this new week, right? Plus, we're about to go into quarter two now. So this is the overlap that we have to watch out and really think about it. Okay, so you guys can see here. Let's see. Where the fuck happened? Oh, we're still on the weekly. Okay, we'll go to daily. Boom. Wednesday. Right. So we have Tuesday, Wednesday, right? That's it, guys. That's when the time shifts. That's when the quarter shifts. And again, we're setting up already. What do we have? We already have the Monday range, right? Right, Jack? We already have the
yep,
Monday range, right? Same thing.
hmm
Monday range, Monday range, Monday range. Right. Again, Monday range. So you guys can see Monday sets up that weekly open, weekly open, weekly open, weekly open. And this sets up the tone for the week. But again, we have to, in this case, encounter for the tone of the quarter as well. It's not just the weekly shift, right? That'll be precisely weekly fractal plus the quarterly shift. So again, if we get some sort of open high into there, we're going to have to fade the short term to make the bigger open low, right? And this going up a little bit and failing here will give us that bigger picture open low. You see what I'm trying to say? And that's what can get us that, final move, push down, whatever. And then we can, look for a shift coming back out, right? Out of this quarter with the quarter shift. Then once we can do something like this, and once then, only then we can start to look and think, okay, is there something bullish that we can look to swing back up? Right. But until we don't have that time shift and those type of licks and the lows in, then it's just guessing it. Right? Physically,
right,
how could a low could possibly be in right here on this exact candle before it closes? Think about the next candle,
yeah,
right? How could you say right here we're at the bottom? How about the next candle? Right when it comes out, what is it gonna do? It's gonna have to do something for this to swing or whatever. But you guys can see this looks very incomplete, and we got absorbed. This whole upside move was absorbed all the way back down just before the close. So again, unless we really push up, right? Today, we scam up like hard, then we can kind of change the outcome how monthly candle looks, right? When it closes. If we push up a little bit and we can close a little higher, then that's a whole different story, right? By the end of today, right? If this thing is over there by the day, when the daily closes, then it's a whole different story. If we suck up this whole thing, then the whole story of outcome will change more into just look for an open low and really just take a long. Or even it could even do a higher low at that point. It wouldn't even have to go sweep the low if we close so well. But again, that's not the case yet. Yet.
not yet,
And this
not
is
yet,
why we can't just guess that. You know what I'm saying? Because who knows in 23 hours what would happen?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? That's where we have to really understand the behavior, line it with the time, and have the scenarios of the context, and then have that higher probability and follow the scenario. Which one has the higher probability? Understanding behavior. All right. So yeah. So simply, guys, when we look at this, right? So look for if we get an open low, taking out these lows, and we absorb these lows, then there will be, your major swing plays back up. But again, if we get like a little open high and fail this wick, then again, that will be a major swing short idea back down to take these lows, right? So we're gonna have to watch the first week of the quarter to see how we develop that, what kind of monthly range we develop, and it's all fractal. What do you think?
yeah, yeah. I agree with that as well. I think same thing that Jay said, right? If we get that open high, right, we're gonna start looking right for eventually to play the downside, right? Eventually, but if we get that open low and absorb the lows, then we can start shifting our view to maybe think longwards. But you trying to switch it to Bitcoin?
Yep.
Okay. So for Bitcoin, I'm just looking at almost just like the February to now volume profile. That's kind of encapsulating, this current range that we've been in, right? Not yearly, but just 1 month from year start to now, right? So from February 1st to yes, today, right? So I'm looking right at the weekly open, and I'm seeing that as soon as that weekly shift happened, right, it's happening at range lows, right, at our 2 month, let's say 2 month value area low, 2 month slash range value area low, right, where we were, looks like Saturday, Sunday, right, we're very low volume days. But as soon as I think almost down to the hour here, as soon as that new weekly candle opens, right, we have a bunch of volatility injected into the market. We immediately ping pong off the value very low and teleport to POC, right? And now we just failed POC right around 67 or 68K,
Yeah.
right? And now we're coming right back down to value area low, right? So one thing that I'm going to be looking for here is if we really are going to play the short side, then eventually I'm going to expect some sort of breakdown past value area low to go and eventually distribute lower, right? Because even in we've had, this has been a very solid range, not, the value hasn't shifted too crazily,
Yeah.
right? So yeah,
Yeah.
what do you got to say?
Yeah. So same thing. Yeah. So this is the value that you're talking about, right, Matt? I
Hold on,
mean,
share your screen real quick.
oh, you can't see my screen?
No, but I know what you're talking about, but I can't see
Oh,
exactly.
okay, bet. Yeah, this one.
Yeah, okay, you're looking at the yearly. Okay.
Yeah, the yearly balance range. But if you
Okay.
see it, bro, the POC shifted again. Because
Oh,
just the other day, the POC was up here when we were failing here.
oh shit, wait, it did.
Yeah, bro. This shit was up here, bro, just the other day, bro, when we failed the Monday range, last week. The POC was up here. And that's why I was telling people, oh shit, this shit looks mega bearish now. And then now we did all the lick, right? And then now
Yeah,
POC shifted back. And now again, something is cooking here. Again, that
right,
means a scam is coming, bro. Maybe like really a scam long is coming before the quarter close here. Because we
right.
accepting value here. It's absorbing all these value on the yearly balance. Like what Jack was trying to say earlier here, like we've been really respecting this shit. All balance, from the past month and a half. Right? We have not lost this balance range. Right? Neither to the upside nor to the downside. We've been just playing perfect balance here. This is literally textbook, right? Textbook balance range,
Yeah.
Right? That's textbook balance range. And again,
Hmm.
we're in this scenario, again, just with the time, we have the value in time. So if the time shifts and the value is here, and if we do hold, we could, start to see something. You know what I'm saying? Boom. But if we fail here again with the time, like I said, open high, then that's the bull trap. That's the short-term bull trap. You get what I'm trying to say? And then we'll get that bang, and then we'll get the move. Or if it's really gonna have to prove, then guys, this would need to break through this, and we will need to displace above all these levels, which again looks less likely, right?
Yep.
Like it would need to really blast through this high for us to really start to catch momentum back up to take these highs and leave this balance again. But right now, it looks like it's about to give another short covering. What do you think?
Yeah, I could agree with that as well, right? We're opening the new month off of, well, new week, new month, right? Off of the old monthly open and the old monthly value area low. Just for the monthly, just time, just month start to month end. We are at the value area low, right?
Yep.
And this month's POC, March's POC will close back up at 70.6, right? So most of the orders for this month, right, we're still up here, right? But we're just coming back before this close to, depends if we hold, right, this value area low and the open, or if we fail it, right, if we go lower. Not if on the monthly, right, if I were to see maybe before the close POC smacks down right before the close into the new month, then I would want to expect like a open low for that next monthly candle. But I'm not seeing it right now. So,
Mm,
maybe we get this open high with this week, right, into the POC, and then we slowly shift down and we continue on this downtrend that we've been on, right? But I'm not seeing anything that is screaming, crazy open low just yet, right? So
yeah,
just short, as Jay said, right? Just short coverings for now, right? Little lower highs as they come in, right? Because I mean, if we're traders, right, we're going to want to follow the trend, right? So pretty self-explanatory, right? So we're just, no change in the current trend yet. So there's no change to, our style and how we're approaching and attacking the market. Yeah.
yeah, for sure, for sure. That's a good way to put it, Jack. And then you want
Yeah.
to go over NAS right quick.
Yes, we can look at the DAC. I
Oh
was even
yeah,
looking at, oh my God, bro.
yeah. That shit. Oh
Dude.
my
So,
God. Look, yeah. Remember that plan, bro? From where
yep.
the bro?
Yep.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, we gotta explain from there, bro.
Dude. But you start off first on it.
All right, bet, bet, bet. So last time I talked to you guys about this NAS was when we were still up here inside of this value, right? When we're still in this smaller balance range inside of this bigger balance range. And I was telling everybody the moment we lost this smaller value, right? Plus this value, I told everybody what? That if we lose this value, then what are we going to happen? We're going to have to look for a downside move, breaking outside of this value, taking out these lows, going back into previous structures. We're almost there, bro. Literally, Jack.
Yeah.
I gave that
Yep.
level. No, we're almost there now, bro. This is
Dude.
not even a joke. We're almost dead ass there. Like we're a couple ticks away, like few more candles, and we're really there now. For real,
Yep.
for real.
What was
And
that
I
level
told you guys
exactly?
2 weeks ago, and I gave you guys this idea 2 weeks ago, right? And one of my students so caught the whole move too. Quite literally caught the whole move.
Yeah, so caught it
The
mega amount of
whole
ticks,
move,
bro.
bro. Like literally the whole move he caught it. I was like, damn. And I'll show you guys here right quick. The whole move.
Insane work by
The whole
self.
move. Yeah, for real. The whole move. That's just crazy. But either way, I shared with this plan with you guys 2 weeks ago and last week with Jack. Okay, so pay attention to what we're telling you guys, right? And I showed you guys my view and why and how and why I'm expecting all those things. And now you guys see it playing out, right? And this is where the context comes in. And I already gave all my context. So you guys can see how that context gives you that edge and the view of what I'm seeing. But yeah, go on, Jack. What do you see now?
Yeah.
Since I
So I
already
mean, the equities are just an absolute free fall right now. And, you know, out of the history of, I mean, if you just look at the, historical NQ chart, right? Most of it is going up. So this is one of those times where, we're having one of those pullbacks, right? And they're pretty interesting overall. I mean, the next I'm looking at even like a higher. I'm looking at the 2-year VP for E-mini with the 1 week candles, right?
thanks.
And I mean, I'm just looking at this distribution cutoff, this pretty sharp cutoff around, let's say it aligns with Jay's level. It's around 22,733 ish. So I don't know exactly where you have that level. 22, or yours is at 22,200. So yeah, and that's part of it as well, right? But we're coming into this cutoff of volume, right? 2-year VP value area low is only at 21,500, right? So I'm gonna be looking with this week to see if we get into this gap because honestly, right, like I mean, I'm still buying, I'm buying small amounts of, my long-term investments as we take this dip. I'm not gonna sit here and wait for the market to fully retrace, right? I'm well aware that I may, have some short-term drawdown for my long terms, and that's totally fine, right? In the bigger view of things. So yeah, this is going to be this next level that I'm looking for NQ to drop to is going to be around. It's going to be a little, maybe a tad bit above yours, but in the same general region, right? It's going to be around 22,700 ish. Little above yours, but in the same overall area. But yeah, so that's where I have it going. That's where I kind of have NQ going. It's kind of a level that I'm going to be watching on the larger time frame. But to just kick it to kind of this week or how we kind of closed last week, right? We had that aggressive open high, right? And then we
Yup.
retraced just later in the week on, and we really put that low in on Friday.
Yep.
But retrace that entire move up, textbook open high off the rip. Monday during that Asia session, right? We came up like crazy, came up like 700 points, failed here, and then boom, came in that open high, low, and then we close. That is quite literally the textbook open high, low close, right, for that week.
Mm-hmm. Textbook, bro.
Yeah, so I mean, this current week we're already on almost a Tuesday candle here. So it looks like even this week, right, for NQ has already done a little bit of somewhat, we could say maybe an open high. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, look at this right here. I switched over to SPX right quick, but
Okay.
this is what I have plotted out, right?
Mm,
Well, a minute ago, I plotted this out, and I shared it on the X2, and it's quite literally the same, bro. Like, just take a look at this. Let's just take a look at this real quick, guys. This is what last year's Q1 balance range, right? And then
mm,
again, look at this year. This year's Q1 balance range. Okay. And then watch this, guys. That year, Q1 balance range, and boom, we come to March, right? Right when we start March, what do? We break the value, right? And then now again, look at here. Right when we start March, what do? We broke the value exactly on the same time, bro. Exactly March, like it broke this value, bro. Okay, one thing, yes, we create this balance range exactly the same. Okay, exactly the same. But bro, the month that we break that mega balance is the same, also right on March, right with the March. Boom, we lose that value, and then what happens? It just shits down the whole time, bro. Shits down the whole time. And then again, this is Q2 right there. Shit. And then again, this is
this will be.
Q2.
I'm really interested to see how this plays out
You
because
see what I'm
charting
saying?
that
Look,
alone.
there's not much time left. You see, there's not much
Yep.
time left.
Yep.
So that tells me it's less likely that we're going mega bearish. Like I feel like the mega bearish sentiment.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it won't play out. I don't think we're
Yeah.
coming all the way down here, bro. I think we really just may swick these levels that we gave on the 382
Yeah.
and blast like
Yeah.
that. I think that's what's really going to happen here. But we really have to kind of, again, that's my bias. That has nothing to do with context. So again, guys, make clear difference between what your bias is and what the context of the market is. Context of the market is this. And then the bias is, oh, I might want to see here. But again, we have to see when the time comes, when we hit these levels, how do we react? Are we absorbing it? Are we accepting that level? Are we falling below that level and accepting it? Then it tells us we're going to go lower, right? But again, if we come here and just reject this instantly, spend no time here, that means we're going to get a nice reversal exactly how I have drawn. Right? So we can have
Yeah.
a couple of scenarios here with the context that we can watch, not fixated on one view.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. No, I totally I agree a lot. I'm not I don't think I'm not max bearish about this. I think, first of all, even just with the way that it's charted out, that Jay has it charted out in front of you, that's just a very easy, simple way to look at it that's also very powerful, right? Like
Yep.
you don't need to have a crazy, super complicated, Bloomberg terminal with 10 different indicators, right? Like we're literally just looking and at the time and what, price is doing in the value and just seeing like, okay, like this has happened once, like here it comes again. Really, what happens next, right? We're kind of playing process of elimination with the certain moves that the market can make, right? And that makes Yep,
Exactly.
and it makes it way easier, right? When we're able to see less because we're still looking at important things, right? We're not like we'll keep an eye on, maybe the war, right? Of course, like we're not going to totally disregard it, but 80% of our trading, 70% of our trading is going to be based just on time and value, right? Like the war is
Yep.
cool,
Time and
or
value.
it's not cool, but it's something to pay attention to, right? We're not totally disregarding it, but unfortunately, we're just gonna have to trade time and value. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
like look at this, guys. Like even this, yeah, people may think a war caused this, But then explain this, what I just have explained to you guys.
Same
There was
time.
no, there was no war there, whatever. But again, it's just time and value.
Yep.
Time and value. I don't care there's war there. I don't
Yep.
care. Here, what was that? Tariff. It wasn't a war. There was tariff news here. So again, what's the point? Study the time, not what not what the news is telling you, because that's
Yep.
all afterwards. I called out this breaking down before all the war news, this, that, looks, that. You see what I'm saying? Before all that shit even got worse to where we are now. Now
Yeah.
it seems like, oh, it's because of the war we have dropped. But again, that wasn't the case ever since me and Jack been making the market update. That was the top. We shared the ideas. We said it doesn't look good. You see what I'm saying? Before it even got worse, right? And it's all like it's there. The video is there. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So you guys can go
Yeah.
watch and see what we were saying 2 weeks ago, right? And then now what we're seeing now, right? But again, these things are measurable, is what I'm saying, right? It's measurable. Study the behavior of that time, right? And these are the things that nobody teaches, guys. Study the behavior of certain times. What are we doing? What kind of value are we at? Were we losing the value? Were we holding the value? Were we in a balanced range? Like me, I'm looking at the time and figuring out what the price was doing. I'm looking at the time, figuring out what the price was doing. You get
Yep.
what I'm trying to say? I'm looking at the time, figuring out what the price is, right? And that tells you something. That's a piece of puzzle with the time, exactly with the time. And you guys can see right here, that exact bottom. What is that? Again, quarter shift, right? Is that
Yep.
random, guys? Does that look random to you now? No, it's not. It's really not random. Obviously not at this point. And you guys see that.
Right.
So again, if we get some sort of a mega bounce, see, it's already kind of bouncing here. Look, it's already looking like it's soaky. But again, you don't want to,
Yeah, we're pumping.
rush it. But the point is, it looks like, the final puke could come just after, the time shift. We could just get a slight boom real quick,
Yeah.
brief, quick wick down, just boom, and everybody gets scared one more time and just boom, and blast out of there.
Right.
Right. So if that happens, guys, that's the mega long. But again, if we come here slow, grind down, looks bad, big candles, right? Then we're just slowly gonna grind through this level to come to this point. But again, that's now then gonna be by week 2 or something, not week 1.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Then we can extend the time into the second fractal. Week 1, now week 2, week 3, and then we can do a monthly fractal open low to do the high and close back up. So that could be
Yep.
another scenario. But again, we don't want to reach it that far. We don't need to
Yeah.
know that far. We just need to make sure we can react to the nearest scenario that we have plotted.
Right.
Right?
If it comes. Right.
Yep.
I mean, just one more thing is like, even alone, like even when Jay had the balance range charted out, right, from last year and what happened there, right? We're just looking at time, right? Because time is not, there's no question about if tomorrow's going to happen, right? And that's what we know
Exactly.
for certain. And in the markets is literally uncertainty. So it's the best thing to have that variable by your side, right? Is going to be,
Exactly, bro. It's your
so,
biggest weapon, guys, because
okay,
this is consistent. This is consistent variable, right? It's constant. It's just
yep,
going. It will happen no matter what, unless the world gets nuked and we all die. That's
yeah,
that's the only way that even then the time will go on. We wouldn't exist, but time
yeah,
would go on. You see what
yeah,
I'm trying to say? Yeah, let me correct that, guys. That wouldn't change anything. Honestly, it would still go on. We wouldn't go on, but time will go on, right? But
yeah,
that's the point. We don't know what's happening tomorrow, guys. But that's why I'm keep telling you guys we don't have to know what's gonna happen. We have to, but what we know is we can watch at a certain time and see the behavior and
mm,
understand how we can go about it. Like that's how I'm plotting it out. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I'm showing you guys if we can come here by this time, and if we can do certain things, then I already know what to do. If it does that, is the point. That's where it's easy.
yes. So even just alone, like let's just do quick exercise with me real quick, guys. So just alone, right? We're looking at the balance range that we had last year, and then the time. Okay, and then we're looking at the balance range again this year, same time, and similar reaction, right? And let's just pretend we're aliens, right? And this is just we're just watching the chart, and this is all we've ever seen from our birth, right? All we're
Yeah.
gonna see is like, oh, okay, well, when the value shifted and the time shifted, that's what reflected in price,
Yep.
right? But now let's go to America. Let's become a human, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah, the war, right? And this is the most important point is that you will see the chart start to set up. You will see the value start to shift, and you'll see the
Yes.
time shift, right? And then the
Yes.
war or this will bring us the volume that we want to complete the move. That is literally it.
Exactly.
Right.
Right?
So this year's move looked right. It was this, now going on 30 days almost, right? Is this Iran conflict, right? And like, what do you think the higher ups are really doing right now? Do you think
They're
they're
juicing
scared?
the short.
Yeah. They're definitely take profit one or two on a short, but my main thing is like, yes, they're shorting, they're buying, right? They're eating off of this, right? Like this was all planned.
Yeah, we're eating off of this shit.
Yeah,
So
we're
fuck
eating
yeah,
off of this shit too.
I'm sure they're eating off of it. And look, hold on. Let's pause right quick, guys. Look. What the fuck happened? And I literally plotted out this for you guys.
Yep.
Okay. I
There's
posted it
no
publicly on the 20th. Okay. That was 10 days ago. I forecasted that we will come back up to retest and go down. Go down. And we're exactly where I have pointed it. Where my arrow exactly I have drawn, right, Jack, is
yep.
where we are right now.
To the
Like,
fucking tick, bro. To the
I'm
tick.
not like to the tick. And same thing with the NQ. Like, look, this is what, oh my God, that looks bad. Look at this. This is what I have shared. Like quite
Nasty,
literally to
nasty.
the look at the arrow that I put when I shared it with you guys. Look at that shit, bro. And then look where we are now. Like, do you guys see
Yep.
this?
Yep.
Like I
Look at
literally said we will come retest and go down. Come retest, go down.
yep.
And I showed you guys this 10 days before that happened. And I explained all my reasons right here. It's here. You guys can go check out my X and go look at it. Right? All the reasons. I said only possible way for us to be bullish is if we fucking somehow got back above the value, which did not happen. What does that mean? Go short. And I already knew that. Plotted out, told
Hmm.
you guys it, everything beforehand with the scenario and understanding time and value once again.
Yep.
Right?
But it's also right important that we note the major, the mainstream narrative of why this is going on, right? Is the war,
Yeah, it's the
right?
war. But
So how is that going to have most of the people feeling, right? Well, they're going to be fearful. Maybe they'll panic sell. And whoa, that aligns with the time and the balance range for. Oh, what a coincidence! Is it
yep.
really a coincidence? That's what we've been trying to figure out, right? So
Yeah.
you can not like our style of trading, you can hate us, but there's no telling that you know literally the calls we're giving, right, are that played out beautifully right there. And there's like
Beautifully. Like to exactly what I have drawn and explained. And it's not to boast about it, it's to give you guys idea of breaking you guys outside of that, boundary of thinking everything is because of the news and you have
yeah,
no edge to compete in the market. No, I'm showing you guys. There's way to compete in the market. You guys can understand how to do this and make money in the market. Which I'm
yeah,
showing you guys. I'm showing you guys, giving you updates before, after, explaining the reason, not just drawing arrows that we're going down. Right? I'm not just drawing arrows saying we're going down. Right? I'm not saying we're just bouncing here, we're going up. I'm explaining why we're going to bounce, why we need to do this, why we're looking for this. Before
yep,
it even happens, not as it happening. Okay? Before it happens. You see what I'm saying? So you can understand why my thinking is like that, what I'm thinking, how I'm putting the context and my discretion together.
yep. Just
Y-
reflections in price, from time and value, right? So we're looking
Yep.
at the time and value and what price will reflect of that, right? Not what the news is going to reflect. That's its own thing, right? And just what the time and what the value is
That
saying and
fuels it.
how price will reflect that in future weeks, right? Or future days or whatever.
Yep.
Really? Like that's it, right?
But it
So,
really fuels it, bro. Like news just fuels
yep,
whatever time and price is gonna do. And again, think about this equation, guys. Whatever we just said, it make mathematically makes sense. Okay, look, we just said time and value is what causes these things, right? But again, right after the time and value, that's when the news comes out, right? So again,
mm,
what comes first? And again, most people don't know this. So only thing they see is what? The news.
there's the
So
news.
to them, This is obviously time and value is not visible. They don't understand the concept. They don't understand the logic behind it. They don't know the context behind it. So again, the only thing they see is price going down and the news coming out. So
Yep.
the only logical sense for 99% of traders is what? Because of the news, price went down. But
Yep.
again, once you can frame the time and value, you will see, oh shit, we're breaking value. Oh shit, time is about to flip and we're breaking value. Right with the monthly shift, it
Mm-hmm.
breaks the balance range low. Bro, I
Yeah.
mean, what is that? And that already tells me something's gonna come before Trump says something bad.
Mm-hmm.
Before he sends, 50 fucking missiles out.
Yep.
And then price goes down, and then he's oh, and then the missiles are sending. The news is going crazy. And then people that's not educated and does not have that context, they're just looking at the news, looking at the chart. How can they always manipulate us like this? We cannot trade in this condition. This is not
Yep. Yep.
tradable. That's
Yep.
all you hear. But again, I'm showing you guys my students literally printing every other fucking day and night consistently throughout this bad market condition, so-called. And it is. I'm not saying this is not a bad market condition. I'm saying understanding time and value can help you trade through these hard, rough conditions because we're seeing it differently, right? The,
Mm-hmm.
the lens is different.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%.
but
Last thing that I'll say before we wrap this up is that, like, one thing for the people watching, like, if you are trading time and value and you're also, in it with the loop with the news, maybe you're watching, maybe you're just following, monitoring the situation with what's going on, in Iran and Iraq and everything, and maybe you pay attention to Trump or you're looking at Forex Factory all the time. If Just think about, first of all, pay attention, right, just to the time and the value, but think about, with the current time and value, what the volatility like that the news will bring, right? Because it does. What
mhm,
move we could see materialize through
mhm,
the news, which is the volume that we gain, right?
mhm,
So that's one way to do it. Don't necessarily think like, maybe, for example, maybe, it's the news is supposed to be bearish, right? Or from your point of view, or from an objective point of view that everyone's viewing it from, right? It's supposed to be bearish news,
yeah,
but like, maybe, you've been coiling on a value area low for the week, right? And everyone's expecting, bearish news, and then boom,
it's like
the
here.
complete opposite happens, right?
It's
So
like here. Just the best
yeah.
example is right here. Again, what is this low, guys? Like this low is again, if you look at the date, 4-3. What does that mean? That means this low was again perfectly timed.
Yep.
Wasn't a random low. That low came exactly with the Q2, right in
Yep.
the blink of it. Like
Yep.
it was waiting for it. But again, look at where we were just before. It's hovering out around the lows. Like it's chilling. It's just like right now. Look at the context because it's the same. It's hovering around the lows, just about look like we're about to do something and not. Same thing here.
Yeah.
We're hovering around, hovering around. Looks like we're about to do something. Time shifts and boom, it does it. So again, time is about to shift literally 2 days.
Yeah.
Right. So again, in 2 days we could just go boom and get it over with, and then you whoop de doo. And then you guys can
We
see
could
if
see.
you miss this, it's gone. Like the market will change so fast, like nothing bullish. I mean, nothing bearish was going on ever. You see what I'm saying? And then it would just flip. I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen, but I'm saying, guys, if we do hit a lick like this and hit a fat reversal off of that, then that is what we need to bet on. We need to fade the majority that are bearish and go long.
Yeah. Yep. Always invert, as Charlie Munger said. Always invert. Always just
Yep.
got to be thinking
And
that
then again, many people now these are late shorts coming in, guys. Now people shorting here, those are late shorts. They missed the whole party. It started from here to here. You see
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say? So now these are the late shorters, meaning these are the FOMO shorts. These are the people that doesn't understand the market, that's feared out of the market. Now these are the people that longed here and now wants to short here. You see what I'm trying to say?
Hmm.
Those are the people now. And those are the people that's trading right now, here, right here. People that lost money and now they're scared and they're going short here. And again, shortly, they make a little money and then boom. Now they're gonna get wiped out. They're like, oh, I could have just waited and long. and lose all the money back up. And then again, when it's back up here, they're gonna buy again. You see what I'm saying? And then the same thing will happen again, and then boom. And that's how
Yep.
the market works, guys, quite literally. So don't be the sheep.
Yep.
Don't be the sheep, right?
Do not.
Do not be the sheep, guys. Simple end of the end of the day words. But yeah, anything else you want to talk about, Jack, before we
Shoot. I
slam it
mean,
off?
yeah, I mean that's basically it. I think we covered a decent amount of, what's going on and what we have planned, right? So
Yeah, that was a
yeah.
nice 40 minutes. So if you guys actually stay through the end of the video, then again, you have a little bit of a chance of becoming successful. You know what I'm saying? Just
Hell
because
yeah.
yeah, just because you did it, you watched it all the way through doesn't mean you're gonna become successful. Again, we're one step farther from most of the people because they done clicked off the video fucking
Yeah, they're already
30
searching
minutes
for
ago.
the new TJR video with the thumbnail with the
Exactly,
lifestyle,
exactly. They
you
couldn't
know.
stick through to listen to this magical, information that we're giving people that you won't find
Yeah.
anywhere. Won't
Yeah.
find anywhere. Once again, it's
It's
unique. And again, these type of styles of teaching, it's my teaching, so you guys won't actually find it anywhere, right? So don't if you guys don't understand or want to understand it, then keep on asking questions on the Discord and keep on, dropping the comments and asking questions. It will help you guys out, right? And then, yeah, if you guys fuck with the video, we're gonna come with another one next week, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Peace out.